Okay. Our presentation is about a case study where the principal from SMK Damai want to use an MNE method to use it and to practice it on their own school, because their school already face a challenge where the number of students keep rising while the number of teacher still limited. Therefore, the challenge is where the teacher required to maintaining the high education standard while stay improving student outcome. It is a challenge where the teacher is still limited while the student still increasing. Therefore, by implementing a monitoring and evaluation, which is MNE framework, the principal believe that from the framework it will help to achieve their own goals. Okay, as for what is MNE framework, which is brief generally, MNE framework is about a method where it will ensure the objective of the school will be effectively reached. This is because the system has three approaches, which is monitoring performance, evaluate achievement, and outcome assessment. For monitoring performance, where every performance that was out or created by student will be recorded in order for them to have a long history and file to know the student improvement. And for evaluate achievement is where the teacher can evaluate the student where what they have improved in a certain times or setting time. And as for outcome assessment, where like a practice or like an exam, where from the assessment it will reflect how far does the student or the standard for the students able to reach. Therefore, the objective of the MNE for the SMK Damai, the first is to measure the curriculum implementation, where the MME need a record or need to be included inside the curriculum for their lesson plan that for the teacher. And the second is to how does it improve the instructional quality, how does it will play the role during the teaching. And as for the identity areas for improvement, where it requires for student to or the teacher to state the room for the student improvement and for the support of student development, where the teacher also need to engage the student to keep doing or keep improving themselves.
Alright, diving into the data analysis tools, first of all, we will apply quizzes scores or coursework to measure the students' data. This is very important, and this is the most easiest way that most of the teachers have applied in their teaching style, since this is the most efficient way to get the quiz, to get the student scores and their data. Moving on, second one is to organize student visits once a month, or may increase the frequency to collect data through surveys. So these so-called surveys can be through the papers or even through the visits of their house and as the student's guardian and such on. So the simple data tools created from Excel or any software to compile the data in one place. This is the most crucial part of all, since the data that is gathered together, that has been collected, needs to be organized and fit in a one place and compile, which all be familiar with, so that the data can be used at the time that we find it to be efficient.
For the benefit of the MNE framework, it will provide a comprehensive understanding for student learning by combining the qualitative and quantitative data. The second one, it will enable for early identification for student strength and weakness, so it will allow teacher to generate more options for students to grow. And it will also improve the teaching effectiveness by helping teachers adjust their own strategy and evidence, which is the evidence from the outcome for each the lesson have been carried out. So it also in other hand, it also can enhance student engagement and motivation through personalized support.
Now we enter the challenges of M&E. So the first challenges will be inconsistent of data collection. Every teacher have different style of collection of data. The data that can be collected through M&E is attendance and exam score. So This will make the collection of data be not consistent because of the style of the teacher have different style of data collection, and of course it will have no standard to collect the data. We have no standard of data collection style or format, so it will make all the teacher have different style of data collection. So it will be so difficult for teacher to analyze and to collect the data. Now we enter the second point, which is weak data analyzing skill. This is more focused into the teacher, which teacher have not many have the knowledge to analyze the data that they have, and because of this it will make the interpreting data become more harder. So this challenge is more focused into the senior teacher, which they have minimum knowledge in technology, uses of technology. But for the more modern teacher or the new teacher, we don't have any challenge because they already apply technology in their teaching method. But for those senior teacher, they will have a bit struggle to complete this assignment or complete this task of data collection. Now we enter the third point, which is the last point of the challenges, which is the poor communications between teachers, parents, and school management. This problem will cause a lot of problem to the teacher and also the student, because the student cannot know their growth, and they know the growth, but it will be hard for them to know if the parents don't know. When the parents don't know, they don't know what they need to do to help their children to improve more in academic level. So as we can see, this poor communication is very important when it comes to organization, but in school it's also very important. The principal and the school management, the teachers and the parents are the main point that they need to communicate each other to reduce this problem. But many school and many organizations have much challenge into the communication, because they're more focusing on the student only and not the parents to involve in their growth. Okay, now we will talk about the strategy of M&E. How do we counter this challenge? The first way we can do is standardize data collection. We must create a common format for all teachers. A very easy format which every teacher, no matter they are the seniors, no matter they are new, they can follow this simple format. Every teacher can use Google Form or Excel to analyze, to collecting the data, and with this we can get a clear analysis or clear differences of improvement of the student in the exam or the attendance and everything, and with this we will have a clear data to be analyzed. And we must ensure the consistent across department. No matter what the subject, we must stay consistent, update every data that we collected. Now we enter the second point, which is the training professional development. This is more focusing on the senior teacher. We focus more senior teacher because senior teacher have zero knowledge, or we can say minimum knowledge into the technology, applying technology such as Google Form and Excel. So this senior teacher must focusing on more into the development of their skills, especially in technology. The school must provide regular workshop on data analysis. So every senior teacher can participate on this workshop, and also the student, and not the student, the teacher, the junior teacher and the senior teacher can participate in this workshop. So now in this workshop we must train this teacher regularly into the use of collective data tools such as Google Form and Excel, and the school must continue supports the teachers into, no matter they are the seniors or the junior teacher, we must support them all from learning the collective data tools. And the last point will be improve communication channel between the schools and the parent. Actually, we must focus in parents and the school connection and communication. So the school must do regularly updates to parents, which it must be encourage the school meeting with the parents, teachers, parents meeting, which the teacher can share the data growth of the children to the parents, so the parents know the growth of their children in school. So it will promote transparency in student progress, so the teacher will understand the teacher will understand, or the parent will understand the teacher try to say in the student progress. And yeah, so with this, the communication in the school will be more clear, and parents will help the teacher to improve their children in the academic level.
Firstly, it's improve instructional planning. Teachers can better understand students' strengths and weaknesses through constant assessments, allowing them to plan lessons more effectively. Secondly, students can have better performance. Since lessons are adapted to students' abilities, students are more likely to improve academically. Okay, lastly, teacher can be great in accountability. Teachers become more responsible for classroom outcomes because they must document teaching performance, student progress, and lesson results.
We go to the impact of teaching practice on academic performance. So, the impact of teaching practice on academic performance is to shape by national standard, resource distribution, and cultural values. In countries like Japan, high-pressure environment can foster exceptional discipline and exam result, but often at the cost of student mental health and increased fatigue. Conversely, in the United States, significant inequality in school finding can create a resource gap that leads to disparate academic outcomes between wealthy and poor districts. Furthermore, the underlying culture's philosophy, whether collectivities or individual, dictates the classroom focus, such as collectivist cultures prioritize teamwork and group achievement, while individualist systems emphasize personal success and self-development, and fundamentally influencing how students perform and interact within their education system. So that's all from me.
As mentioned by the previous presenter, one important lesson from this study is that collaboration among teachers can improve understanding of students' needs in a more comprehensive and effective way. Through consistent sharing of information and regular discussion, teachers are able to make the teaching and learning process more systematic and organized. Another lesson is that continuous training and support are essential, especially in improving teachers' skills in data analysis and the use of technology. The recommendation, M&E should be integrated into teachers' daily routines so that it does not increase their workload. Schools are also encouraged to use digital tools such as Google Forms and Microsoft Excel to make data collection and analysis more efficient and organized. In addition, ongoing professional training should be provided to improve teachers' efficiency and confidence in handling technology-related tasks. Lastly, schools should build a reflective school culture through regular meetings where teachers can discuss findings, share ideas, and identify areas for improvement in teaching practice. So now we go to the last part. In conclusion, the MNE framework at SMK Damai provides a systematic and data-driven approach to improve teaching and learning. It not only focuses on students' final result, but also examines the overall learning process to better understand how learning takes place. Through continuous monitoring, teachers are able to identify student strengths and weaknesses earlier and adjust their teaching strategies accordingly. At the same time, this framework also promotes accountability, professionalism, and collaboration among teachers in improving the quality of education. In addition, the integration of digital tools and regular reflection support sustainable school improvement and helps teachers make more effective decisions based on data and discussion. Ultimately, this approach helps create a more inclusive, responsive, and effective learning environment that benefits all students. So that's all from our group. Thank you.